Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of you. You are around 400 interested people willing to know more about the today subject. As you can see, we will speak today about silver quality performance level. So I welcome all of you today in this webinar, and I expect that you will get interesting information about all these elements. Next slide, please. As you know, the quality performance level are giving an additional but necessary trust to the IRIS audited organization. And this is what we will try to explain to you today. Next slide, please. As you know as well, most of you, is that there are specific assessment process elements which are now in place since September 2019 for the first year test period, and then officially since September 2020. Even in this current strange situation, we can notice, and this you will see later on, a lot of companies eligible or even awarded to this level. One important point, and you will understand it also later on in the different presentations, that we absolutely expect that there is a clear link between the quality performance and the product quality. So we expect as well an additional credibility through the IRIS scheme in that level. We will have today 3 testimonies of companies already awarded at this silver level. And before introducing our speakers, I will just tell you that if you have questions, and we expect questions, of course, please use the question function of the team. And it's in fact the icon with the question mark. And during the question and answer session, I will be delighted to ask the question to the relevant people. So today, our speakers will be Maria Reisinger from Frauscher, Thomas Beekman from Siemens Mobility site of Braunschweig, Eric Dambrun and Marina Bragaro from Wabtec, Jana Jung from the UNIFE, Stefan Ziegler from Siemens Mobility, but as well as chairman of the IRQB, Volker Burmester, member of the IRQB and representing Deutsche Bahn AG, and Thierry Aimé, Vice President Quality at Alstom, and as well chairman of the IRIS Steering Committee. So now I will give the floor to Stefan to introduce this seminar. Stefan, the floor is.
Yeah, thank you, Bernard, and welcome everybody also from my side. I would like to take the opportunity to introduce you, as far as you don't know yet, or maybe discover some new aspects. What are the basic ideas and the setup of IRIS? Therefore, on the next slide, please. So after a thorough evaluation of the certifications in the market, the rail industry discovered that there is a need of improvement with regards to 9001, simply due to the fact that there was no match visible in between the certification status of a company and the performance level regarding quality and delivery. And so we added several aspects on top, taking the 9001 as a basis. Therefore, IRIS helps today companies to become more performance-oriented, to become more competitive. And I would like to give a short overview what is added on top with regards to 9001. You can see on the left-hand side in the blue area, there's the 9001 2015 basic requirements and several railway-specific supplemental elements were added. So the 22 mandatory processes, key processes, where we say there are some topics very important as engineering, production, project management, requirements management, and some railway specific topics like RAMS LCC, for example, which are not known by the ISO 9001. All those elements are laid down today in the ISO TS 22163 and are basis of this standard as written in the upper blue box. There's another important aspect, it's the IRIS certification and conformity assessment scheme, which is shown on the green box on the right-hand side. First of all, obviously, as done with the ISO 17021, it is evaluated if the business management system is implemented, so the enabler side, the so-called enabler side, but additionally, and this is the important point, the red marked green boxes with the red frame, customer perception is a very important aspect and the performance evaluation of the 5 mandatory processes as well. So design and development, requirements management, project management, the entire procurement and logistics chain process, production and service provision is evaluated based on performance. So that means only when these key processes are really performing and delivering the expected results, then the higher certification levels are possible, as well as the customer perception of the quality performance is granted as well, based on mandatory KPIs with customer satisfaction, on-time delivery, non-conformities. This is really new and unique in the world of certification. Only IRIS certification offers this, no other sectors knowing this, and like this we get a trusted certificate, and you will see it later when speaking about the silver awarded companies, that both customer perception and performance evaluation is above average, and the certificate can be trusted with regards to performance in quality. Next slide, please. So as said, we have different levels of the certificate. Beside the certificate of IRIS certification, a quality level certificate is awarded in bronze, silver and gold. What does it mean? So basic level in bronze means the 9001 plus railway specific supplementals are implemented, and the implementation could be seen by the auditor during the audit. There's a proof for implementation. Silver is granting a transparency on the performance level. So even though maybe not every performance level is reached, the transparency is given and the company is transparent about the performance level and where potential improvement areas might be. With gold, obviously the highest level, there's a trust given, the optimized customer perception is given, and in general the company getting a gold certificate awarded generally fulfills all the customer requirements regarding quality and delivery reliability. This is the reason why bronze, silver and gold is implemented. Next slide, please. So regarding the timeline, bronze was already implemented in 2017. With silver, we went live last year in September, and the gold certificate will be implemented in September 21, whereas the trial period already started in September 2020. The trial period gold, like this, is open. Performance level certificates will not be issued for the time being for gold, only for silver, but for gold it's possible to get an acknowledgement letter from the IMC based on the granted performance level. Next slide, please. So what are the benefits of IRIS? I would like to start with the third bullet point of the first block, trusted certificate. The certificate shall express the perceived quality, so you should not be surprised by a company being IRIS certified that the quality is bad, especially not in silver or gold level. We have implemented bronze, silver and gold quality performance level certificates. We published the guidelines to facilitate the implementation of IRIS, so you get as well help from the IRQB activities out of the working groups, how to reach these levels. And for the IRIS conformity assessment, which is also driven by IRQB, we have finally reached a common language in the sector to exchange about the quality performance. We have a level of product quality and reliability in delivery, and like this, a better reputation for quality in the entire rail sector. I think there's still room for improvement. We will see this later in the details, but the most important point, as mentioned, a trusted certificate where also, for example, system houses or operators can reduce their third-party audit, second-party audits, because the result of the certificate can really be trusted, especially in the silver and gold level. Thank you for your attention. Next agenda item, please.
Thank you, Stefan. I would like now to give the floor to Jana Jung, who will give you some elements on how to get this silver level within the IRIS scheme. Jana?
So hello everybody, also from my side. My name is Jana Jung and I am working as the IRIS Development Manager at the IRIS Management Center. Today I would like to explain you a bit about our awarding process at the IMC for the silver quality performance levels. So maybe we go to the next slide, because there are the requirements that need to be fulfilled on the road to silver level. So the requirements the companies have to fulfill during their assessment, but also in the preparation time. So I guess the first three requirements are well known to all of you. So there need to be special percentages achieved to be able to reach the silver performance level. For the enablers, these are 70%. For the customer perception, these are 75%. And for the performance evaluation, these are 80%. So if these targets were reached, then the company has taken the first step for their silver level. Another issue that needs to be considered was already mentioned by Stefan. All the audits that were performed after the 1st of September 2020 are eligible to be rewarded the silver level. If the audit was performed prior this date, it is not possible to get the silver level at the moment. I just say this because there have been some requests to me why it is not possible that audits that were performed the 1st of September 2020 received the silver level, but this is, as already mentioned, related to the test phase. So every audit that was performed after the 1st of September 2020 and is fulfilling the requirements is also eligible to silver. And the last requirement that is set is that the data package needs to be provided 60 days prior the audit to the lead auditor. As Bernard already said, this silver level shall be a level of trust, and this is why the companies need to provide the documents to the lead auditor way in advance, that he has the best possibility to prepare for the assessment. And I also saw already in the questions that there was a question regarding if you can reach the silver level in a recertification audit. Yes, this is possible. So there's an evolution of the performance levels. This is why it is not possible to get the silver level in a certification audit. But if your company already got the bronze level and is in a recertification period, then they can also achieve the silver quality performance level. Okay, maybe we go to the next slide. Here we then have the awarding process. So everything that happens after the assessment is closed. The first item that needs to be highlighted is that all our activities start as soon as the final report was uploaded by the lead auditor to the IRIS portal. So as long as there's only a preliminary report and maybe some cars need to be closed, the activities will not be started, but as soon as the final report is uploaded, we at the IMC start with our awarding process. So one of the first steps, and this is quite new, is a survey that shall be filled out by the companies who reached the silver requirements. This is where we want to know some information, how the audit was, how you prepared, and so on and so on. Then the next step is a detailed cross-check by the IMC. So we check the audit documentation, including the audit report, the annex report, the corrective actions, the improvement actions. We check them in detail, and it could happen that there might be some corrections that are needed. Then we will go to the certification body and request a correction. If all of this was done perfectly, then we award the silver level. So if there are any doubts or you did not receive your silver level until now, please first contact your lead auditor and ask whether there might be some requests from the IMC, and then there shouldn't be any issue anymore. Okay, on my next slide, I have a little overview. So up until now, we have 31 silver companies that already were awarded their quality performance level in silver, and they are spread all over the world. So I hope that there are more to come. And to not steal any more time from our real silver companies, I would now hand over back to Bernard.
Thank you, Jana, for these explanations. Now, after this process approach and explanation, let's go now into practical examples and our first company, Testimonial. Therefore, I will leave the floor to Maja Reisinger from Frauscher. Maja, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Let me start with a few words on Frauscher and our IRIS certification on my first slide. We develop and manufacture wheel sensors and axle counting systems for railway signaling, which ensure safe and reliable railway operation. We have 15 locations all over the world. Today, I'm talking about our biggest location with 280 employees and our main production site here in Austria. Our IRIS journey started in 2013 with our first IRIS certificate on IRIS version 2. During the transition to IRIS version 3, we went through some ups and downs. We had a very critical eye on the requirements of the standard, as we are a medium-sized supplier of signaling components without the challenge to manage customer projects for each and every delivery. So it is obvious that the IRIS standard does not fit 100% for our kind of business. Therefore, we decided to maintain our existing IRIS QMS according to the version 2, even if it was no longer possible to certify. This decision worked out till Mr. Siegler and his team required the IRIS certificate from us in February 2018. And so we started the IRIS version 3 journey together with Siemens. We did a workshop and an audit together to analyze our concerns and got the confirmation that the necessary change for the transition is not as big as expected by us. After that, we've changed our mind and started with updating the QMS according to the new IRIS in April 2019 and managed to certify it 8 months later. I would like to explain to you what were the main changes we had to implement and how we've achieved IRIS Silver last year on the next slide, please. We split up the customer satisfaction survey into 2 parts. In the first 6 months of a year, we focus on the customer satisfaction of our main customers. And in the second half of the year, we do the same survey for all other customers to get the full picture of our customer satisfaction performance. Our KPI reporting includes customer-specific KPI for our main customers and all other mandatory KPIs as required by the standard. We collect quality-related customer feedback like supplier ratings, customer audit results, KPI results, and so on, and use this information to compare it with the KPI performance we've measured internally. For sure, the calculation and analysis of the KPI was the biggest topic we had to work on and therefore the main change we had to implement. But it was worth doing it. Now, we have a clear overview on our own perspective and the customer perspective of our performance, and it is obvious if and which actions are necessary. All this information is input for the process reviews we conduct with all process owners twice a year and the management review once a year. Last year, we had a good performance and we were able to show that our customers saw it the same way. In the end, All this resulted in the silver performance level, which was a big surprise for us as we did not expect it within the first surveillance audit. Today, I'm convinced that it is worth to go for IRIS certification and that our customers can trust in this certificate. Let me tell you why on my last slide. The explained customer perception analysis ensures the customer focus in the quality management system. The performance has to be checked regularly with the internal view and the customer view. Additionally, the silver rating confirms that we follow this procedure and we have fulfilled the targets. The explained KPI reporting and process reviews ensure a process focus in the QMS. The silver rating confirms here that the 5 mandatory processes have a good performance as well. The conformity assessment rules include the requirements which make the difference for me between a pure certification of a quality standard and the IRIS performance rating. I'm sure that our customer like this idea because if they want to see the performance of our quality management system, it is no longer necessary to require any data from us or audit us. They just go into the IRIS database and have this information available in less than 2 minutes. And the last point from my side, our customers can rely on this performance measurement, as it has to be updated once a year during the audit of the certification body. This means for us that we constantly have to put all our efforts on keeping and improving our performance to be able to reach the IRIS silver level again. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Maria, for this very interesting presentation. But as I said, the basis of the silver level is trust and confidence, and also awarding. So for the awarding here, we show now the certificate, the quality performance statement level. And as it is a trust and a credibility for the customers, let's ask immediately the output of the customers and the feedback of the customers on your quality performance level. Therefore, I will ask Stefan for Siemens and Thierry for Alstom to give their statement on Frauscher silver quality performance level. Stefan, the floor is yours.
Yeah, first of all, congratulations, Maria and team, company Frauscher, to the silver level certificate. Really a great achievement. And for the next time, I guess we have to work on some drums and music to introduce the certificate and hand it over. I would like to summarize our Siemens view on the development you already mentioned. It was to a certain extent a common way forward towards the IRIS 3 certification, since there is a profound strength in the knowledge of the customer solutions, of the alignment on quality targets, a high level of quality performance, which becomes visible in common meetings, a quality dialogue on the exchange of quality performance data based on agreed quality targets. It was possible to achieve a 100% on-time delivery performance. And all this, and you mentioned it, no surprise. I think this is a very good relation between the daily measured and felt quality performance in daily business and the certificate. So you really deserve it, a silver certificate on this intense performance. And we really want to congratulate on this, first of all, on this very good and hard work on daily performance. We see as well, and I want to mention this as well, the speed of your internal and quality of your internal improvement system. So all corrective actions, which in the meantime were discussed, were implemented with a big success. And you also take the action and activity within IRQB, so you're participating in the working groups of IRQB. So showing activity. Thanks a lot also for this. And yeah, therefore I would as well repeat it once more. Congratulations, company Frauscher, for the silver level certificate in IRIS. It's well deserved. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that, and thank you for the support, especially in 2018. This was very important for us.
Yeah.
Okay, let's have the testimony of Alstom now. Thierry, the floor is yours.
Yes, I would say that the message that I can say will be very similar. The slide is different, but I would say the message will be very similar. So for us, yes, you are a qualified IRIS from long time, and for us it's something that helps us a lot because we are able, I would say, to go straight to the point thanks to the IRIS certification. In terms of non-conformity, in fact, at 0 miles or 0 kilometers, in fact, you have, I would say, also a very good result, few NCR and even sometimes 0 NCR. So that is for us something that is really useful for Alstom company, and more important even, it's that for warranty issue, we have no warranty issue during the warranty period. That is absolutely key for Alstom and the customer of Alstom. So based on all these points, in fact, you are in the very small number of people, a number of suppliers that are awarded trust supplier by Alstom and in the Alliance partnership. In fact, I assume that in Alstom, we have less trusted and Alliance partnership than silver certificate worldwide. So you are in a very small, I would say, club of supplier that, and of course, IRIS silver is absolutely well deserved from the Alstom point of view. You are really a key supplier for Alstom.
Thank you very, very much as well.
For sure. Yeah.
Thank you very much to all of you, and also congratulations from the IRIS part, from the IMC to Maria and to Frauscher. Let's now go to the second company testimony, and I will leave the floor to Eric Dambrun for the Wabtec transit presentation. Eric. Eric, you are unmuted.
Guys, can you hear me now? Okay. Yeah, thank you, Bernard. Let me introduce myself. My name is Eric Dambrun. I'm in charge of quality management system for Wabtec Transit. And speaking about Wabtec, Wabtec is a global provider of equipment system and digital solution, mainly for the railway business. And if you can switch to the next slide, please. Yes. So our corporates are located in Pittsburgh, USA, but the transit headquarters that I represent today are based in Paris. Okay, in terms of product, Wabtec Transit delivers a series of components for commuters, metro, as well as buses. And for product, it goes from brake system, doors, HVAC, or sanitation systems. If you can go to the next slide, please, Arthur. Okay, now speaking about IRIS, IRIS is a very important pillar of our quality journey, and since the beginning of it, in fact, since back in 2006, if I remember right, we have adapted or introduced series of processes to meet the ISO TS and the IRIS certification requirement, of course. First, it was all about leadership commitment, but also very strong involvement, making sure processes are delivering the expected performance. And we are doing regular reviews up to the highest level of the organization. We have also a very strong focus on project execution rigor using GATE methodology, and we have a homegrown application called PMT, which is allowing us to have a very comprehensive view of the all project status through the whole organization. So this is really helpful to follow where we are in terms of project execution. And of course, operation excellence, gathering sourcing, manufacturing, and supply chain around a common governance to focus on one thing, which is delivering our commitment. And here again, we have implemented series of methodologies and tools to serve that purpose. QRPC is one of them for sure, WIM, ECM, you name it. Those are just very few examples of the many processes we have implemented in the company since a long time. And all these processes were set with one common goal, which is basically to improve customer satisfaction. Next slide, please. So as I speak, we have today 34 IRIS certified locations. And clearly here, we see a direct link between the silver level and the actual performance of our location. Piotrków is the first location to officially get the silver, but we clearly are expecting much more to come. This is obviously the results of years of actions they have done on site to improve, and it really starts to be visible. First of all, if you visit the site, it's visible on the shop floor with very strong visual management, but now also it's visible on the overall site performance. And last but not the least, it's also visible through the external recognition, and this silver level is clearly one of them. Okay, of course, this is a never-ending journey, and Thierry May from Alstom, who is also part of this webinar, will confirm, I guess, that every new project brings new challenges. So Wabtec Transit will clearly keep pushing its organization to deliver our commitment and improve customer satisfaction. This is a never-ending race that we have to run, and we know, and we are really putting efforts on that. This being said, I would like to invite Marina Bragardo, which is the plant quality manager of Piotrków, to bring her testimony on this silver level. Marina, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Eric. My name is Marina Bragardo. I'm the quality manager of Fevle Italy, Wabtec Group, and I'm very glad to be here today to represent the Piotrków site and to celebrate the achievement of the silver level. I try to summarize, if you go to the next slide, please, what was our journey to achieve the silver level and the guideline that we have defined. So deepening the stakeholder analysis with a specific focus on car builders and operators' expectation, with, of course, very important, the involvement of all site process owners. Defining an action plan, taking into account risk and opportunities in order to define a ranking for all the action to be taken. And very important, receive quick and reliable feedbacks from the customer, distributing direct survey. It was then possible to define our action plan, and in the next slide there is a short list of some action. Improvement, the remote support at customer premises. This was very important for our customer to improve customer perception. So to be present, even if with the pandemic was not possible to be there, but to have regular meeting, remote support with video call or through tools like HoloLens, Google Glasses. And this also helped to improve the knowledge of our Wabtec residents. Our new product, Metroflex for brake control, is now fully certified by an independent assessor in terms of project development, but also product, process execution, and also control. Also, digitalization is very important for customer satisfaction. Digitalization of production document with advantage in avoiding human error and increasing the performance of delivery. It is just a short summary, of course, the list is very long, but it was possible at the end to improve all the enabler evaluation, to improve the customer perception, and also to better align the process performance together with the customer view and our internal KPI. And at the end, to be recognized with this silver level that will for sure increase the trust of the customer towards Fevle Wabtec. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Maria and Eric. And here as well, I would like to congratulate Fevle Piotrków. You got last month your quality performance level statement. Here as well, I would like to have a feedback from a customer, and I hand over again to Thierry for the Alstom view. Thierry?
Yes, so basically, yes, first of all, congratulations, because I know it's not so easy to be silver. What can I say about you? It's that for the point of view of Alstom, is that yes, you are IRIS certified, but not only, all the special process are qualified, and it's not so easy, I would say, to have that. What we see also that at 0 bytes, you have you have a few, I would say, you have a few NCR, and in addition, what I would like to say is that you are better than, I would say, the average for the same commodity. That is also a good sign for us. In terms of warranty, we have, I would say, some issue globally, but as you know, that brake is a subsystem in a complex system, and sometimes the integration has to be taken into account, so it's not so easy. But nevertheless, I think it's something that we have to improve all together. And it's why we put something that was not so sunny, I would say, so an area of improvement from an Alstom point of view. And in terms of relationship, very good relationship, very flexible, try to solve. Each time we have an issue, in fact, it's something that we really appreciate in your company globally, and especially also for your side. Still, I would say we are quite demanding, and also our customer for sure. The time to solve the issue has to be improved, but again, a subsystem in the system, we have to take that also into account, because it's the integration, sometimes it's not so easy. So basically, I would say overall, very good performance, very well deserved, the IRIS Silver certificate. Yes, impacted by warranty issue, but also linked with the design. And it's perhaps something that we have to improve in our standard in order to tackle, because we are very focused on manufacturing. Sometimes we have also to be, I would say, more strong in the design phase also. But yeah, very well deserved, very happy from Alstom point of view to have you as a supplier.
Thank you very much, Thierry, for this very fair statement. It's true that, again, as I said, each and every project brings new challenges, and clearly we will keep on working with you guys to make sure that we improve overall your satisfaction years after years. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you, all of you. Thank you, Thierry, for this very frank statement. It shows as well that a certificate, an IRIS certificate, a quality performance level, that's very good, but the customer perception, the customer satisfaction remains very, very important, and the communication with them is a key element also of the IRIS global process. Now it's time to go to the third testimony, and an example in a system integrator level, at the system integrator level. I will now hand over the floor to Thomas Begemann from Siemens. Thomas.
Yes, hello to everybody. So my name is Thomas Begemann. I have been working as a quality manager at Siemens Mobility Rail Infrastructure. And I would like to give you a brief overview of the key success factors for the silver level as we experienced it, and the levers we applied for such having a successful management system and gaining the IRIS silver level. So let's get to the first slide, please. So a short introduction who we are. So in terms of the IRIS certificate, we are focusing on 2 locations, Braunschweig and Berlin, which in total have around 4,000 employees. And we have 2 location sites. So Braunschweig has a large operation site focusing on electronic components like PC boards. Also sales and project management, as project management is the largest part of our business, and product business is only of secondary importance. We have a really large research and development department, and of course some additional supporting functions like purchasing. For Berlin applies a little bit different. Mainly Berlin is only focusing on operations, more or less on mechanical components such as signals or point machines, and we have our headquarters there. If we look at the product spectrum as a system integrator, this is really a broad spectrum. Is ranging from well, standard mechanical components, auto components as signals or point machines, and it's well, ranging also to very highly sophisticated applications like cloud-based interlockings. Besides these two locations, there are numerous other locations all over the world, but it's not part of the certificate. So let's go to the next slide. So to our experience, the journey for the IRIS silver level is a marathon more than a sprint by any means. And we started our IRIS journey in 2009, and the road was sometimes really bumpy. And some of the success factors we needed to have and to support are, for instance, top management support. So in our experience, it's really indispensable to have a leadership commitment and a support and a backup, because the changes for the system are affecting almost anyone in the company. Another aspect is we apply the pull principle. That means we think the standard itself clearly defines the target state in terms of defined, qualified, and optimized levels. And this is, let's say, the targets we set for our colleagues, and the path to get there is free to them, because we don't want to achieve the optimized level everywhere. So we always think about, is it really necessary to have it, and does it make sense for our business? Another aspect is a strong belief in the benefit of the system. We are really convinced that this IRIS standard is the best reference for our company and our business. Another element is that we, from the very beginning on, we try to participate in the development of the standard. For instance, taking part in the German Railway Industry Association, for our German colleagues known as VDB, Verband der Bahnindustrie, also in IRIS working groups and so on. And the benefit in our experience is you get information at first hand, and you can exchange your experience with other members in the railway industry, and this is really very helpful. And last but not least, continuity and endurance. So it's really necessary to continuously and persistently keep track for all the issues which we have to deal with the IRIS standard, because it's really a marathon, and there are also only incremental improvements, but it's necessary to keep track of them. Okay, if we go on to the next slide, we can have a look at some levers which are more or less on the practical doing level, kind of sort of tools which help us with the practical implementation. What all of these elements have in common is that they form a consistent system. That means a common philosophy can be found in all elements. And the principle we applied could be named as smart reuse. And I can give you some examples. If we start with a balanced scorecard on the right side, we put numerous KPIs in the scorecard which are required by the IRIS standard. And we, for instance, those which are necessary for customer perception. And these KPIs are then used for the KPI-driven process evaluation in the management report. And these KPIs are also used for process reviews, as mentioned below. And we additionally use also turtles within the process reviews. And the turtles itself are also used as a standard element for the preparation and conduction of our internal audits. That means for a continuous monitoring. And vice versa, the result of these audits are fed back into the process reviews and the management review. So you see, all elements in total are interacting with each other, and these elements help us to maintain and implement and improve the system which finally led us to the silver level. And this also applies to the performance evaluation, which is also used in the management review. And last but not least, a process-oriented organization is really necessary, because this absolutely fits to the let's say, the standard of IRIS. Okay, on the last slide, let me conclude let's say, the essential elements as we believe have facilitated our journey to the silver level. So let's start with the top management support, which I also mentioned. Without a management backing and a support, the demanding goals of the silver level are really hard to achieve. So it's absolutely necessary to have this support. Also, a common view and approach, this helps us, this common view and a common language by the IRIS standard, to have a system in one piece, which is really a benefit from the standard. And from the practical perspective, this benefit can be easily seen if we look at the KPIs which we introduced and the annual IRIS audit results, which from year to year increased incrementally but steadily. So this really gave us, let's say, a good feedback that we are on the right track. Last but not least, we think that the IRIS standard is really the optimal QM system reference, and it really best fits to our business, and it's the best QM standard we know for our business. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Thomas, for this very detailed and expressive presentation. So here as well, I would like to have first very warm congratulations for Siemens Mobility Braunschweig, including Berlin as a site extension. And as for the previous presentation, I would like to have feedback from your customer. Of course, here, as you are a system integrator, we are asking an operator, and therefore I will ask now Volker Burmeister from Deutsche Bahn to give his point of view on Siemens Braunschweig quality performance. Volker, the floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you, Bernard. I like to be here because in my role as head of supplier development, I'm used to act with suppliers who normally not perform at the expected level. And therefore, I enjoy very, very well, Thomas, to congratulate you and your team for this success in Brunswick site. Very good. But before I go in detail, I have to explain a little bit about a special organizational situation at DB. We have a slightly different quality management and quality assurance system for railway infrastructure and rolling stock equipment. And therefore, I'm not in the daily business the one who can judge on how is the performance of your team. But as I was asked to give testimony, I suddenly get in contact with my dear colleagues, and they stated what I have written in the left of this page. Yeah. They told me, oh, Siemens silver candidate. Wow. But no surprise for us, because it is very well related to our daily experience. Yeah? We have no problems. Siemens is a reliable partner. We have performance level on the expected level. And if there is sometimes an issue or a challenge, yeah, we are very, very happy that we have a supplier who is with good learning abilities, adaptive processes, and able to face those challenges without causing problems for our business. So, as a resume, you are on the right place, yeah, and we congratulate. But the second message from my point of view, if a company gets a silver certificate, yeah, this will cause expectations by us as a customer, and even on operator's side at the end of the supply chain. We are highly interested in trustworthiness certificates, and therefore we have, we would, ask you kindly to maintain or improve your level of performance that you have reached and which is stated in the certificate, and please act responsible and be aware of your role model as a lighthouse company. Yeah, that would be great for the sector, because on the end of the day, we all act together in a supply chain and a product network, and there it is from very, very big interest that we can rely to each other, and it is very easy and very, very good to have an efficiency booster like IRIS certification, if it is possible to trust in the certificate, and much more to have easy access to the results of IRIS audits. Yeah? The first step is that the audit process is trustworthy, the results are trustworthy, but the second step is to work with the results and to integrate them in your own risk management, in supply chain management. So there is a little bit way and work to do or to go, and therefore, for today, many thanks to Siemens and good luck for the future. Bye.
Volker, thank you very much for your kind words. I will, of course, give them to all our colleagues who are supporting us in our way. And you can be sure that the high expectations are also with our management, so they are also very demanding and will help us to improve anytime. Thank you.
Yeah, very well. Welcome.
So thank you very much, Volker, for this very detailed and precise statement and feedback. Now, as we had the three statements, results, feedbacks, and so on, it's time to have the Q&A session. We got quite a lot of questions, and I will have to select some of them and to ask them to all our speakers. But before going on that, as the time becomes very short, I just want Arthur to show you the next slide in order that you know that we are in the Quality Monthly webinars. The next month, the date to take into account is the 7th of May. And the topic will be customer satisfaction. So for all those who are following us since February, please note it. Please also, you are able to register already for this next seminar. Coming now to the questions. There are quite a lot, as mentioned. The first one I would like to ask to Jana, because they are linked to the process, the organization itself, and there are many. I would just summarize in the fact that when can I get the silver level in any kind of audit? Is there a possibility to be awarded with the performance level when, despite the fact that it's today almost remote auditing? There is a survey after a silver awarding to be done. Why? And last but not least, if the decision is not to award the silver, is there an appeal process because of issues with the certification body or with the auditor? So Jana, maybe your first explanation on these points.
Yes, I will try to summarize it a bit. So to the first question regarding when is it possible to get the silver performance level in regards to the remote audits? Yes, at the moment it is like this, that fully remote audits are not eligible for the silver level. This was decided in last year when we started with the remote audits. Of course, at this time we all did not expect that this COVID period would last for that long. So there are already some investigations how maybe to align this procedure. Then we had another question regarding the appeal process. So if you discover that there are issues you have with your lead auditor that might be also connected to the audit documentation, please first contact your lead auditor and try to solve it with him or with a certification body. If there's no solution possible, you can also contact us at the IMC and explain to us your issues you face together with the lead auditor, and then we need to find a solution. Is there anything to add, Bernard, or did I miss something?
It's okay. Thank you very much, Jana. The next question I will raise to Stefan. Stefan, there is as well a double question. First one is rather as for your quality of Siemens head of quality excellence, and the second one is as the IRQB chairman. The first one is linked to the fact that is it implemented within the IT system of Siemens to share the quality delivery results or targets in order that all the sites are able to progress at the level Braunschweig reached? That's the first question. The second question is linked to the next steps about gold. What is expected for the gold level from September on in the way of the IRQB vision? Stefan?
So, yeah, thank you, Benna. First of all, regarding the IT implementation of customer feedback and quality dialogue, together with our suppliers, we are about to implement out of our supplier database monthly letters to the suppliers showing the quality performance level and maybe deficits which have to be worked on. This is not fully implemented yet, but will be implemented step by step. So maybe to answer this first question with regards to my Siemens role. The other question, what is expected towards the gold level? We mentioned it in the first minutes of this webinar. Of course, it's mainly the performance on customer satisfaction, and I think this is also has become visible in the presentations of the three companies. So the question really should be, how do I understand best my customers in plural, to gather the relevant KPIs and to optimize my service provision or product delivery according to the customer, being open and transparent, exchanging about quality performance level with the customers, presenting this towards the auditors. I think this is the most important topic, optimize your business, and then both silver and gold will come automatically. It will be difficult saying, okay, now I want to have gold and to force a gold certificate. It's as impossible as it is impossible for example, in occupational safety, simply to work on the accident numbers. So you will be never successful to work on the result. You have to work on the enabler side. And as mentioned, first of all, the transparency needs to be given. This is the silver level, and next year a regular meeting of gold, a regular meeting of the performance goals is necessary to reach the gold level. The details were shown by Jana in the introduction.
Thank you, Stefan, for this answer. Then I have another question for Maria Reisiger from Frauscher. The question is, as a small and medium enterprise, what was the most challenging aspect to reach the silver rules?
As I've already mentioned during my presentation, really for us was the biggest challenge to put the IRIS standard into the context of our organization. So really interpret the standard in the right way for our business and for our products. And from the quality management point of view, for sure, it was the KPI reporting and really the structuring of all the quality management activities in such a way to be able to provide the data package 60 days prior to the audit. This is really, from the quality management point of view. But to be honest, the real challenge is to have the right performance of the processes and perform and have the quality and satisfy the customer. This is, as we've heard from all the companies, this is the real challenge, and yeah, we accept it day to day.
Okay, thank you, Maria. A question for Wabtec Fevle. So, Eric or Marina, how do you manage targets in a corporation regarding the quality performance levels?
Yes, Bernard. In fact, we are strong believer of this silver level. As you know, we were part of the discussion on the introduction of this level. So therefore, Lilan Leroux, the CEO of the Wabtec Transit, has decided to push all the organization toward this silver level. And basically, of course, we have a tool to report automatically each and every month all the figures. But the whole idea was that I asked each and every location to provide me a strong action plan when there was gap between their last year results and the silver level, making sure that each and every location is having a very comprehensive action plan, mainly working on customer satisfaction to make sure that most of our location will succeed to get this silver level in 2021. Of course, this is not a race, and some of the site may have more, I would say, things to fix. Clearly, what we want is to improve overall the customer satisfaction. So we are really putting a strong focus on that thing.
Okay, thank you very much, Eric, for that point. As the time is quite over, I will also just answer briefly some other questions which are more generic and linked to overall questions. The first point is linked to the evolution between bronze, silver and gold. Indeed, you cannot get the silver level immediately in the first audit. You have to go one by one. This means first year bronze, but already if the result is there in the second year silver. So you do not need to wait years and years, but you have to wait at least 1 year bronze level before entering in the silver level. Another point was linked to the operators. If we have already in the 31 silver levels an operator, not yet. You know that operators can only be RS certified on their maintenance business today. We have some RS certificates at operators levels, but up to now, not yet silver awarded. We expect, of course, this as well as all other company. Another question was linked to the fact that if design companies can be awarded also if they have no manufacturing, yes, as well, that's possible, because it's linked to their organization and to the system implemented to manage and to control the full organization linked to their targets, monitoring, and so on. No problem. And the last point I wanted to answer is also a question about an awarding refusal. Of course, it's not because you send the document 60 days in advance that the audit was passed and that you have reached the levels, that systematically, and I would say automatically, you get the award. As Jana mentioned at the beginning, and as you have understood today in this webinar, the focus by the customer is at maximum. And this means that all the silver awarded and even more later on the gold level awarded certificates will be checked, the reports will be checked. And as soon as one part of the process, of the auditing process described in the certification rules is not respected, of course, we cannot validate the awarding of the silver level. So therefore, as mentioned by Jana, we are questioning the certification bodies, the auditor, what happens, and if they have missed or forget to mention several elements and to correct the report. But if obviously there was a mistake in the auditing process, we will not be able to validate the silver level. And of course, here we are very closely and very strongly supporting, but also monitoring the certification body, that the respect of the process is the key element to give the success to this process. So I think we are a little bit over time. I would like to thank all the attendees. I would also very warmly thank all the speakers for their presentations, for their feedbacks, for answering the questions. And this webinar is now going to an end. I hope that you enjoy the messages. I hope that you enjoy also the presentations. This presentation and this webinar is available on the IRQB website and can be watched later on as well, if you mind. And I would again say, and I would look forward having you again on board in May for the next quality monthly discussion. Thank you very much. Have a nice afternoon, evening, all of you, and keep safe, especially given the current pandemic situation. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.